Okay, here's how to do Seth Rogen's voice. Yeah, take Santa Claus's laugh. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Now imagine Santa Claus eats a different kind of cookie. This is a crazy job. I just slide down chimneys and I deliver packages to kids and eat their cookies. Now you can do that. If you do Harrison Ford's voice, let's take a ride on my plane. And make that guy an Irish ship captain. You've got Liam Neeson. I don't know where we are. I don't know where we're going. I just hope I don't get taken. That's my time. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to Piece of Chaos. My guest this week, as you just heard, is Justin Rupple. You may have seen him on America's Got Talent. He's a voice actor. He's been the voice of Tough Nut, I believe, in How to Train Your Dragon. Starred in movies with Liam Neeson, in fact, and others. He's just a great dude. We had a great conversation. Every time I see him, we talk comedy, and he's just one of the best. He's just one of the best around, and I hope you enjoy my conversation with Justin Rupple.
It is, baby. I just got back from doing some stuff with the bananas.
Dude, they're so funny. I was just talking to my wife about that. We were watching a regular baseball game, and I was like, you know, they have a rule where if the fan catches a foul ball, it's an out for the bananas, and they ended a game with a fan catching a foul ball like a few weeks ago, and like everybody went crazy and like carried the kid out on the field, and it was awesome. Like
that's right.
I was like, that's fun, man. That's really good. It'd be cool.
That's exactly the point, man. Is it's supposed to be like what they do is say, well, I mean, we've done it this way for so long. Why have it so you can't be involved? I mean, if we're really honest, the reason you go to a baseball game is you want to catch a foul ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's like, everybody, that's the more expensive seats are the ones closest to foul ball territory without you getting, creamed.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I always bring a glove.
Like the most,
I always, if I have good seats, I've never got a ball.
Have you ever caught one?
No.
You've never caught one?
I came close a couple times, but never got one. I had season tickets for the Phillies for a few years, but like it was like a Sunday games package. So I've been to a lot of games. I've been to a lot of stadiums. I always try to sit, in that area.
Oh man,
I had a catch
it is everything, brother.
I had a catch once with the right fielder, with Jason Worth when he was on the Phillies in the playoffs here.
So you had your mitt and he just threw to you and you guys just played catch.
Yeah, it was like one or two back and forth while he was warming up. It was awesome.
It's amazing, man.
But that doesn't count as the foul ball thing. But it was pretty cool. I think I was like the only person wearing Phillies gear at a Dodgers game. So he was like, there you go.
It's funny to find a Phillies fan anywhere, because it's not yelling.
We travel.
I bet you do. No, the bananas. I was standing I was in left field at this game that I went to. I got invited by the announcer. I didn't do any work with him this time. I had done a couple games doing some announcing for them.
Nice.
But I just absolutely loved the atmosphere because every inning, every in between, there's an activation. The batters are coming up to different songs. They're still playing baseball. They're just asking it to be more showy.
Yeah.
And but it's baseball, but it's not baseball. The rules of banana ball are every inning. I'm not going to get them all right. You could look them up, but it's something to the effect of every inning, the team that wins that inning is the team that scores the most runs that inning, but you only get one run anyway. So at the ninth, it's kind of like, what do you call it? Skins rule.
Okay.
In golf,
Gotcha,
right?
gotcha.
You can win the hole so that it keeps it closer.
Right.
So as it gets to the ninth inning, you're like, well, it's 4-4, you know?
Right.
Oh, man. And then in the ninth inning, if the home team ties it up and it's tied after the bottom of the ninth, then it goes into sudden death. And it's one batter versus a pitcher and an outfielder. And he can throw it into the catcher. And then they eliminate, then the outfielder's gone, then the catcher's gone, then it's just, and it goes down until a victory is crowned. And it's just so much fun, like it's like WWE without all the violence.
Yeah. Yeah. It reminds me of like the Harlem Globetrotters with basketball,
Yes.
And it's just, it's amazing what they did from like the perspective of like getting people to pay attention to that team, like the origin story of that, and social media is just so cool.
It's proof that if you have a dream and people laugh at you, but you just keep going, these guys just, the husband and wife team, the driving engine behind it, Jesse and Emily Cole, are like, oh my God. I don't know how people have the energy to do what they do.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, when they brought me in, they were like, all right, here's what you're doing. My head was spinning for 2 games, and I've been in entertainment for 17 years.
Yeah.
What they're doing is like Cirque du Soleil on steroids, and mixed in with comedy. And it's just, every sport should have a version of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't take themselves so seriously,
Absolutely. Because it does 2 things. One, it gives a lighter side to the sport that people already love. And 2, it may bring people to that sport that would hate the seriousness of that sport.
Yeah.
Is
it only there? So like they don't travel and play other teams. Like, I don't know, like, are they a minor league team?
They do. So they were a minor league team. They were in a lower than single A ball league.
Okay.
And they got out of that league to just make their own league. And their own league now is they play the Party Animals on the road, or they play them in Grayson Stadium in Savannah. And,
so it's the same 2 teams all the time. They just go as this.
It's the Generals and the
awesome.
Globetrotters. Yeah. At this point, I don't question their ability to do anything. Let me put it that way. I am not the innovator in in baseball. I can't do that. But man,
that's cool.
That's
That's really cool. Yeah, that's really fun. I didn't know you were involved with them. I just liked your hat. That's fun though.
Yeah.
I'm
involved in them the same way that, if you did a school visit at Harvard and got the shirt, you get, get to say you went to Harvard. I didn't, but the administration team was like, boy, we sure liked you.
Yeah.
And that's what it represents. I mean,
it'd be fun to have you in the booth. Like,
oh, bro,
on the mic announcing a game as many different people. Like, that's amazing.
You're reading my mind.
Yeah.
That would be, I mean, it's all about scheduling too. And man, again, I didn't realize just how hard baseball specifically travels. Like growing up, I was like, 162 games. Wait, 162 games, and 81 of those games of the regular season are on the road. Not to mention the preseason, which is in a city that you don't live.
Yeah.
For a month and a half.
It's a grind and a half, man.
That is 90 games out of town. Guaranteed 95, 96 days on location at those places, plus add another 10 days traveling to those.
Yeah.
So that's of your year, 1/3 of your year straight up traveling.
Yep.
Nah.
I mean, it's once you're a pro, it's probably fairly good accommodations and whatnot, but everybody else, it's buses and shitty hotels. Like it's not easy.
Oh
dude.
man. The Bananas are doing as best as a minor league team could possibly do. But yeah, they're not the Yankees. Yeah. And even if you are the Yankees, I don't know if I could do 120 days of the year in, 89 hotels.
It's a hell of a gig, man.
That's woo.
It's a hell of a
gig. I did some time on a cruise ship, working for the cruise ships, and the longest I did was 12 weeks.
Ooh.
Straight.
Wow.
But that is what? That's
it's 3 months.
3 months. Yeah. 90 days. But that wasn't like, what am I saying? That's exactly what it was. Oh my God. What am I talking about?
That's crazy.
Holy hell. Well, it's not as much as the staff. The staff, I would go up and talk to the staff because, you needed somebody to identify with because everybody else is on vacation and you're working.
Yeah.
So you go up to like the service staff. Oh my God. They're like, well, it's 5 months on, 3 weeks off. And you're like on the boat and like, oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a life, dude. I could see it being really fun for people for a while, like, what a way to see the world, like
you're going to
work in a restaurant anyway.
Absolutely. That's that's a really great point. If the level of work you want to do is restaurant work, then it doesn't get much better than going on one of the really good cruise ships. Because man, you're right. You're like, yeah, I do fine dining. Where? In Alaska, Bahamas,
everywhere, man.
Tokyo, that's you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean, I spent some time in the Caribbean when I was younger. And I had a bunch of friends who like lived there and worked there and did things there that were, I think, just, man, inspiring that they did it in their 20s. Like, instead of just being a bartender in the city you're in, they went to the fucking Caribbean and became a bartender.
Right.
And
right. I didn't.
Wow. Like,
I didn't do it in my 20s. I didn't have the courage to do that in my 20s. Everything I had courage to do was in my 30s. That was my courage.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
But you went there how long did you spend in the Caribbean?
So I would go for like 2-week stints and just hang out. Like one buddy lived on a boat and this dude's incredible. Like he took that little boat that he lived on and sailed it from the Caribbean to San Francisco through the Panama Canal. Like a little sailboat. It took him 9 months, dude. Like,
nope, I'm not doing that. I'm saying nope, as in like there's no amount of money on this planet.
Yeah, I'm saying
seriously. I mean, like, if it was it just him or like with somebody else?
He had a cat and another dude, and they
fuck no. Yeah. Your buddy is a real gangster.
He is a fucking gangster. Like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the limited time I did with those ships was enough. We had a couple of minor storms in Alaska to where I remember sitting in a porthole and watching us kind of just, and the wave you couldn't see above the wave in the porthole. And, the captain, of course, has no fear, ice in the veins.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is no problem. We've done all. So stabilize us. We stabilize just fine. We'll be totally fine. And you're like, I was doing it drug free, by the way. Like I wasn't drinking. I wasn't smoking weed. I wasn't I had no prescription medication.
It
was
in real life.
Yeah. I don't recommend raw dogging like on that level.
I mean,
and it was lonely too.
Yeah.
It was the only way. I had one friend aboard, and he was the cruise ship director. And every day it was almost like he's the sweetest man. I'm still friends with him to this day. But like, he would call me. He would wake up. He'd call the room. Good morning. I'm going to bring coffee by. I don't want to get up. No. And it's just because you don't have to do anything for 5 days.
Yeah.
And it's Alaska in the summer.
Yeah.
And so it's like always daytime. So it never gets to night. You'll wake up and it's a weird, it was a test. It was like the universe went, I said, hey, I really want to be a comedian. And they're like, yeah? How much?
Try this. Wow.
Yeah. No. We'll give you a theater with your name behind you and cameras and spotlights and a crew, and nobody on land will know.
Yeah.
No, nobody. You're out there by yourself. It is a real.
Was it?
I learned so much.
I was going to say, you must have just gotten so good. Like, so good.
What is really interesting is that there is something you learn from going to a comedy club, right? There's like, I listen to a fair bunch of podcasts that's just like
same.
What we're doing.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of this, comedians talking to each other.
Yeah.
Because we're always the outside looking in, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a whole bunch of casts and they're like, it doesn't matter, Sam, or Rogan or Theo, they're all saying, you got to go to the clubs and you got to get out there and you got to go to the clubs. And I'm like, well, what you got to do is do comedy.
Yeah.
And each audience has its own unique set of difficulties. For example, there's a whole bunch of club killers, right? Who I love that I would go into a dark basement to see every day of the week. Mm-hmm. But if I said, all right, how much did you get last night to do that? Yeah, $700, maybe $1,000. If I sold out the room, I got to do that 2 times a night. Maybe I'm clear $5,000 for the weekend. You're like, great. Yeah. There are corporations and the United States government, the military, teams, private parties that will pay you 20, 30 times that. Yeah. If you can make a very specific group of people who aren't in a comedy club and who still need to laugh just as bad, if you can make them laugh, and some people will say that that's not, that's not whatever. And you're like, that's kind of like saying, I only play football in a dome on proper grass that's been, properly fertilized. You're like, comedy is just like football should be played on Soldier Field when it's snowing and raining and it's muddy and the elements, sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold. So there is something to, I think every comic wants to be like good at everything, but there is some people who are better at some things and some people that are better at others. And if you figure out which one you're good at, kind of hover around there.
Yeah. I mean, and, I think a lot of it too is the mindset of that comic in particular on that subject too, because it's one thing to just kind of bitch about it, and it's another to be like, like that is a whole different skill. And holy shit, like in a theater, it's a whole different skill. You're getting a new audience of people every week.
That's right.
And, the thing that I found really interesting, and I'm sure that you've come across this a bunch, every time there's people that have never been to a comedy show before.
That's right.
And you're just like, wow, okay. So they don't know what really bad can be. They don't know that, like, it's literally the first time they're seeing it, and that's a lot of people. And a lot of people don't go over and over again or often enough, like once a year, twice a year, because it's expensive. It's a big deal. You got babysitters,
You nailed
all
it.
that shit. So it's like, okay, they're on a cruise ship. They don't even have to go to the comedy club. They don't have to pay to be in there.
They could fall into your show.
Exactly. Like, it's like, holy shit. And you're going to see them later on the ship walking around.
You're going to eat with them.
Like, it's a whole new skill.
Sometimes you're forcibly doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you two bipolar opposites of being on a cruise ship. Okay. The first one is exactly what you'd expect. I was with my buddy. I got to bring a friend. I got a buddy on a boat, and he's like, "Man, what's it like being on here?" And I'm like, "Well, come see the show." And he saw it, and it was one of those nights I've been on for like 6 weeks already, and I did really well, and it was a 1,600 seat theater, and so afterwards I was like, "Oh man, this feels good. You're warm, you know." Walking up to the cruise line, up to the Lido deck to get your food, and I was like, "Let's go do what I like to call the walk of gratitude." Because people will walk by and they're like, hey, whoa, hey, good tonight. Some jokes. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it feels good. Right?
Yeah.
I sit down and I'm like, I wonder if these people notice, and they look over and they share something. They're like, oh my God, I know your movies. I know this and this. I'm like, I'm really feeling that. And they go, and we're here this whole trip. This is like my whole family. And they introduced me. And I'm getting real. And they're like, and we're all here because Dad has cancer. And I'm like,
oh God. Yeah.
And they all now, the woman who's telling me went from like the happiest to now she got choked up. Yep. Now I'm getting choked up. Now we're all sitting there choked up, and now we're hugging each other. Right. And I look over and they're like, you know what? I'm just going to they said, why don't you go back to enjoying your night? This has nothing to do with you. And I'm like, no. And we walk away. I'm crying now. And Cody, my buddy's like, yeah, this is where the cruise ship is like I'm like, and then the next one is I've been on 3 different companies. One of them, I don't want to say what it was, but there's a Disney pirate movie in the name.
Okay, I got you.
Anyway, so I'm on the ship, and this guy is he's got one of those big buttons that says like Admirals Club or something, which means like they've been around.
Yeah, they've
been on something like 20 trips, so that's a lot, you know. And he's got this big can of Foster's, and I'll never forget this. He walks up to me, and I apologize to my Australian listeners out there, because he walks up and he goes, "Oi, you're the comedian, right?" "Yeah." He goes, "Nice to meet you." "Hi, so I was here at your show last night and the show before that one." I said, "Oh, you want me to say, let me finish. Now, I saw you do an hour and 42 minutes. Mate, you don't have 15 minutes.
What?
You've got 12. You've got 12 good minutes, and that's it. Now,
wow.
That's not your problem, okay? What you have here is a case of a really great agent who has forced you into the cruise ship life too early, all right? You don't have it. Someday, right, you will. You'll come back here 15 minutes at a time, and you'll add it up, because that was shit. 15 minutes, not shit. All right? Cheers. And just walked away.
Wow.
Didn't even allow me to rebuttal. Just went, I was like, yeah, shit. And the worst part, Matt, is that he was so close to right. Like, it wasn't that I didn't have an hour or whatever. It's that the show he saw was so miserable.
Yeah.
And it was so bad. And the reason why is because it's called a transatlantic cruise, Trans Am. You can cross America all the way to another country and get off in a whole another continent.
Huh.
But it can't be in North America. So you have to go all the way across the Atlantic.
Transcontinental?
So thank you. Transcontinental cruise.
Right.
So it's a 2.5 week cruise.
Jesus.
So this guy saw me 3 times.
Wow.
And, and the third time I remember bringing it the third time and I brought it. And later on, he's like, little better. Still not all the way there.
How? I wonder who it was. You don't know who it was?
Who the guy was? Yeah. No, just some asshole.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like pretty amazing that he would say that, like
right.
ballsy, and to notice that
right.
you have 15 good minutes inside of that
right.
is also at least a big fan of comedy.
It's the brutalness of knowing that like there's this charlatanism, like the fear of being found out. What is it? Yeah, not charlatan. It where you don't imposter syndrome. Yeah. Thank you. That everybody fears, and this guy just walked up and was like, "Oh, I can see you faking it." You're like, "Ah,
that's amazing,
you bastard!"
That's amazing.
And what's really funny is, has such a great, deep, manipulative burn on any entertainer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it makes me even think to this day that if I really wanted to screw with like Christian Bale, right? If I ever saw him at a party, I could just walk up and be like, "We all know you're phoning it. You're not an actor. You're just some guy who can, fake his non-English accent. But, I'm cool with it. I like your movies, most of them." And to like neg down somebody, like that negative attitude and just like take the knees out from underneath you, especially artists. You're like, oh, it's so easy to cut us down.
It sounds like another comic talking to you.
Could have been. Well, in my head, I've made him Jim Jeffries.
See, now if it was Jim Jeffries, you're not upset.
Oh, mate.
Here's
the deal. Oh, I hated the show. Oh, I hate this show. I hate your job. Yeah, you've got good hair, so fuck him. Right?
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
That would be, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
That is a long time and you're trapped on the boat with your audience. That is a whole other skill. A whole other skill set.
And it's kind of like you have what the people who are good at the cruise ship comedy are taught me at least is that they can look out at an audience and surf better than anybody else.
Yeah.
Because if they step in it or they're like, this reference is lost on these international travelers, they will dodge around it. The same way a comic who's really great at crowd work can be like, ooh, I stepped in it there, not here,
Yeah.
And you can't do crowd work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's international. I forgot about that. That's another thing. Good God.
Bro.
English is the second language.
Most times.
Yeah.
Most times. And there is a few things you're not allowed to talk about. Can't talk about drugs. Can't talk about sex. Can't swear. I can't talk about God. Can't talk about politics. Can't talk about any form of religion, specifically anything outside your own. You cannot talk about the ship's captain. You cannot talk about the ability for anybody to question their safety. If there was a problem aboard the ship, you cannot address it. If there was a wind or wave problem, that cannot be addressed. The rudder systems or the buoy, like the stabilizing, if that goes off and everybody's like rocking back and forth tonight, like, it's a little extra shaky tonight. That's how you get off that fucking boat.
Wow.
Right there. Yeah. All that stuff cannot be mentioned. And for that, if you can dance through all those lines and still make an audience laugh and say nice things about you, you get paid more than the club guys.
Holy shit.
So that's like the give and take, right?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, a club, it's the perfect setting most times.
Yeah.
If it's filled up like it is in a casino, in a cruise ship, it's shooting fish in a barrel. Greatest sets you've ever had are in a stuffed club.
Yeah.
In the right. Oh man, they all know what's coming. They're all comedy fans. Boy, that's gonna be a good night. Everybody has a great show.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so interesting. It is a whole other gauntlet. That's amazing. Like, you think you'll do it again? You gonna keep doing it?
Here's what I have learned to appreciate. If it's a new challenge I haven't done, I'll try to say yes to as many of those as I can.
Yeah.
Because I used to think, and I don't know if this was like you too, I think a lot of people who got into stand-up or music or, the back end of entertainment, like what we do, podcasting and post-work and stuff like that, we may have started out in sports because we wanted to be constantly making something new, a new opportunity to all right, it's a new game today. We gamify stuff, right? And you didn't necessarily, athletics wasn't necessarily the end game wise, but there's a game to this. And I'm not saying I get really good at a game, but I like playing as many new games as possible.
Right.
And if I would, there's a part of me that says, oh yeah, I'd love to have 25 club dates a year, but I would rather have 15 club dates, 15 small theaters, or, like unique theater spaces, 10 colleges, 10. I'd rather it be different and challenging and cool and like, what are we doing here? What's going on?
Yeah.
Because then maybe this is speaking like a drug addict, but man, if it's not getting you off.
Yeah.
I worked at a club. For 2 years, and I was the host there every night. And this was a really big club early in my career. And these were all celebrities in Seattle coming through.
Yeah.
It was Sebastian Maniscalco and Kevin Hart and Patrice O'Neill and all these guys in 2008.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to do shit. I just had to sit there and be like, you guys ready? And they
Yeah.
So I did 1,000+ shows, and it was to the point where every time I'd go on stage, I'd crush, and I knew, that's not me. That's a lot of that's the environment.
Yeah.
And it's the celebrity situation. And so it's not like I had to, I'm tired of this. No, I'd love to do that again, but not, you had filet mignon every night for 2 years. You're like,
Yeah.
What does chicken taste like again?
Yeah. You get spoiled.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Well, you've, it was so fun to see you the other night.
Oh, bro, that show was very fun.
I had such a good time. I'm so glad Brian finally fucking took the initiative to pull that together, because we tried like twice during the pandemic, and then shit would spike.
Oh.
And we'd be like, nah, can't find a venue, masks, all that shit.
Yeah.
So like it just was gone. I mean, it was gone for 5 years. So when I saw he put that up, I was just like, well, I gotta go. Like I gotta.
Oh, I did the same thing. Yeah.
And then he asked me to go up. I was like, yeah, because I haven't since March of 2020, and I just
How did that feel?
Man, it was incredible. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
that's because that's such a unique feeling to go from you were doing it a lot to then all of a sudden nothing
Dead stop.
for 3 years.
Dead stop. Yeah.
Dead stop.
Yeah.
So like, afterwards, were you just racing for a while? Did you write new jokes that night or?
Yeah. Yeah. I was just,
Yep.
it was crazy. It felt so good. And what a perfect way to do it. Like I felt so comfortable. Like I know it's a new spot, but like I felt this ownership on Comedy Ahoy. Like I did so many of those shows that like I knew not to give a shit, like in a way, you know what I mean?
I couldn't agree with you more. And you know, what's interesting. That's the magic.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, when somebody talks about somebody being really great at something, really what it is they care less about being good at it and more like, I just want to have fun with it.
Yeah.
And the fun of whatever the thing is makes you good. God. You know,
that night, what I missed, honestly, dude, was laughing that hard for that long of a time straight. So,
dude,
I was dying. Like when Andy Peters, like just in the middle of nowhere, says, "Wait a minute, you don't know who Jeff Goldblum is?"
He did the best Jeff Goldblum. He's bleeding out here for you. You don't know. I don't know Jurassic Park. Get him out of here. What are you, Juilliard level?
Oh my God!
You don't know Jeff the Fly. The Fly. You don't know the Big Chill. And I'm out here, and then he does his 3 and impressions.
I know.
By the way, there is again.
I love that guy.
I went up there. I forgot how wonderful that show was. And I turned to my buddy Cody, who just, again, I bring with me to a lot of shows.
Oh, yeah.
And
I met Cody.
Road gigs with. Yeah. And so he was the one on the cruise ship. And also I turned to him and go, ooh, and I only occasionally do I get a confident hair up my butt to go, okay, you ready? Give me 5 topics. And he just threw out 5 topics like it was a game of Mad Libs. And then that's what my set was that night.
Yeah.
Because when the waves are that perfect, you know, the guy before me had a great set. The girl before him had a great set. You had a good set. Brian had a good set. I'm like, oh, here we go. Yeah. And I'll be damned. Andy was like, oh, shit, that was a good set. Watch this.
Yeah, it was
and
so fun.
I remember when I saw him going in, I did one of his old bits to his face, and he's like, I forgot about that bit. and then you could see him going, oh, man, they don't know about. Wait, there's more you could add. And you got we're always just kids, you know? Yeah. And I knew Andy when we were kids, like 23, 24.
Yeah.
And so like he went up there and was like a part of him just turned into a kid again. Yeah. And he just went, just that full energy. Andy Peters just,
it was
pressure.
So fun. It was so fun.
Smart and final.
Yeah.
His bit about smart and final. I'm smart. This is final. We're doing it.
It was glorious, dude. And just, you know, I had a.
But then again, see that. But that goes to my point, right? Like the what do you call it? The purists would go. Where were you guys? Out on a back deck.
Yeah.
In a parking lot next to the street.
Yeah.
And I remember during the pandemic. yeah, that's where we were. I remember during the pandemic, everybody was, there was a faction of comedians who were on their podcasts going, you know what, I'm not going to do. I'm not going to go to some parking lot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have somebody honk at me. I'm above that. I'm not going to do that. I'm like, you know what? Give me a damn microphone. I'll do it wherever you got it. And they're like, well, it's not real. I don't care. I go to, when it was like, when I go to Starbucks and I want a breakfast sandwich and they don't have the breakfast sandwich I want, I'll take whatever they have. I want the goddamn sandwich. And I don't walk away going, this wasn't what I want. No shit, Sherlock. I wanted the Gouda.
Yeah.
The bacon Gouda croissant sandwich. They didn't have that, so I got the turkey bacon. What do you want, man?
It is. Yeah, I mean, I definitely pre-pandemic was very snobby about the room. Like, you did all 3 of the rooms that I built, so that.
Oh yeah.
That, you know, Comedy Ahoy. There's nothing I could do about it. It's a bar. Then I did that.
Yep.
Then I did that one, that bottle cap one, and the room was way too big, like way too big and shiny. It was awful. It was just awful, like the worst. And then Brewing Comedy was my favorite. Like, we had a perfect little room there.
It was great.
And like towards the end of the run, he was successful, so he kept blowing walls out. So the room kept getting bigger and bigger. And by the last time, right before the pandemic, I was like, this is awful. This room is way too big. I have to like reconfigure. I have to get a bigger sound system. Like, I got to build a stage. This sucks now. You know,
the price of success.
But now, like, it's opened up the thought of doing a show on that patio. Never in a million years would I have thought that would be okay, you know?
Right.
But now it's like, that's pretty good, you know? Like, aside from the occasional like car, motorcycle noise or police officers flying by, like, but it just is what it is. It doesn't matter.
It is what it is. And maybe you need some sour to appreciate the sweet.
Yeah.
And we had 2+ years of maybe you'll never get it again.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you'll never get to see this again. And I remember it was a joke that was too hard for people to understand. But my dad and, you know, people who fear for my livelihood as a comedian, because they're like, what are you doing, man? This is such a, you know, because they're like, A, it's stressful.
Yeah.
B, it's not guaranteed money. C, there's not a lot of people get to do it for the guaranteed money or any money at all. Yeah. And, you know, on top of that, why? There's so much risk. And so on top of that, during the pandemic, I remember coming back and being like, boy, let me describe my job to somebody post-pandemic. My job post-pandemic is thus. Hi, my name is Justin Rupple. Here's what I do for a living. I get in a small car with a stranger who drives me to an airport full of strangers. I get in a consolidated tube full of possibly sick people. I travel for 5 to 6 hours in this tube, get off of that tube, get into another tube with a strange person, go to another small car in a small area, get into a small hotel, into other places that people have slept. Can't guarantee that they've actually cleaned that area. Then I go stand in front of, if I'm lucky, 200 to 300 people who are crammed shoulder to shoulder next to each other, facing right at me. And if I do my job correctly, they hack, laugh, and spit at me for an hour and a half in a small ceilinged, low ventilation room 3 times a night, 20 weeks a year.
Yep. High risk.
That is a high. Yeah. So there was a good chunk of time I was mourning for about half of 2020 and almost through 2022 where I'm like, yeah, we may not. That may be the end of it.
How could we go
and
back?
There was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was nothing I liked more than live performance. So when it came back even at all, I had no qualms. And I told both my scared people they're never going out again, or my super, you know, everybody in your face, take your mask off friends. I'm like, look, man, I'm going to go back out just for the sake of concerts and comedy. Because that's the most important thing I can think of. And that's the only, and it reset everything for me. Cause I'm like, oh, that's how much I really did love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I started taking anti-anxiety medication to be like, you know, there were times in my life that kept me from going out places because I was so socially anxious. I'm like, fuck that. Nope. I talked to my version of the universe or whatever. I talked to myself and went, fuck it. What's the one thing I could promise? If if it comes back, I promise I'll never not go again.
Right.
And I'll be damned.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You got a parking lot. You got a show of a band I've seen 1,000 times in a venue I've seen 30. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah. Do you think, I feel like it's way bigger now, like way bigger than before. People appreciate it so much more. I just don't know how long that's going to last, but like, I feel like I went to a few concerts like in the last year. I was like, oh my God, how did we live so long without this? Like your chest thumping and just,
yes,
God, it's so good.
I have
so good.
We in our household, we refuse to we treat our concert budget like the American war machine. It's not on the actual budget.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's other things that. Well, what's this black dot over here? Don't look at live concerts.
Yeah. And it's gotten crazy expensive too. It's crazy expensive.
Like,
it's so stupid.
Here's the. I am now. I don't know how old you are, and I don't want to because I don't want to say my age. But I am now at that age where I grew up in Seattle during a time in which people are like, "Oh, you grew up in Seattle? When?" And I say the generation, and they go, "So you could have seen Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Nirvana?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I could have." But I was like 15.
Yeah.
And instead, I was seeing, Cherry Poppin' Daddies and, Phil Collins and Paul Simon. And while those are great bands, I could have seen them into my 20s at my teenage angst years because I should have been out.
Yeah.
So, well, those the bands that are still left, watching Chris Cornell die,
yeah,
and he wasn't even on drugs.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
There ain't much time left. Every band that I'm still, if the following phrase comes out of my mouth, they're still together, then I'm going.
Yeah. Dude,
wow.
You know Jacob Givens, right?
Of course.
So him and I play in a 90s cover band called Temple of the Dads. And it's all 90s covers, and it's so fucking fun. Yeah.
Temple of the Dads. My kids go hungry. My kids go hungry.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a good time.
I love it.
But
I'm guessing your drums based on what's behind.
Yeah. I'll send you some links. But it's so much fun, dude. That music is just so much fun.
Well, I will say this: I'm not an incredibly good or in depth knowledge student of music to the point where I can like spout off about music theory. But I have a friend who is the guy who was touring with me, and he went to school for music, and we were making fun of pop music. Like every pop song is really these four chords, like the 4 chords of Apocalypse or whatever. Pachelbel's Canon in D, or all the pop music that came out of orchestral movements. And then we're like, well, this is the origin. Well, this is the origin of jazz, and this is the origin of rock. And we talked about all this stuff. And we're like, so basically they just heard this and turned it into this. And they just heard this and turned it into this. And so then we got all the way up to grunge, right?
Yeah.
And we were like, they just heard, what did they hear? Because they heard rock, and we're like, right, but we put 2 and 2 things together everywhere else. And it wasn't punk, because it certainly wasn't, it was much darker. And we were like, did they meet Gregorian chants? Like, what the hell did they meet to find weird drop D tuning and, like extremely haunting, non-melodic, like, I don't know how these drug addicts like Alice in Chains listen to Alice in Chains and think, how did Lane Staley and forgive me, his harmony singer on bass, how did those two
Jerry Cantrell
how did they come up with that
unbelievable
God.
Yeah.
And it like 22, by the way.
Yeah. And deep
like
lyrics.
22.
Crazy deep lyrics. Like, unbelievable.
The Rooster? Shit.
Yeah.
And to think back and to be like, Tool formed when they were all in their early 20s. And I'm like, I'm just, what am I doing? What am I doing? I remember I went golfing at a par 3 course that I go to all the time in Studio City. And one day I got paired up with Bo Burnham.
Oh my God.
And he was still like 22 at the time. Right. And I was enthralled by him he was 22 and I was like, I want to say 33 maybe. Yeah. And I was like looking at his brain, like it's this beautiful, like how.
Yeah.
And damn it, Matt, he was nice and funny without trying and not being himself on stage, and would not say a mean thing about any comic or anybody. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
he's just that good.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm lucky to be alive in the time that he exists.
Yeah. He's,
that
special he did during COVID was a masterpiece.
There are a few things that I respect so much in this world. I think I may only ever see them once. I think I may only ever see the Awakenings with Robin Williams and Robert De Niro once.
Yeah.
It was so good that like like there's some things, his special, I've always thought the highest mark of art is, can you make me laugh? Can you make me cheer? Can you make me angry? And then at the end, can you make me do all of them and then cry with just praise for what I witnessed? And I'm like, that inside was, it's a shame that we have to call it a stand-up special because it's just so much more. And that is why I get mad at purists, because screw you, this guy just put a masterpiece together and there were no rules.
No rules.
No, there were no rules. He made up his own rules. Yeah. To quote Waiting, he made his own penis show game.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, man.
So funny. What do you like better, or maybe what do you think about, like, when you think about doing? Because I think you have a really hard job, like a level up on doing stand up, because you have to figure out how to make very iconic things funny. Like it's almost like a handicap, but a skill. You know what I mean? Like, like
it is. That's a really good observation, because if you're gonna try to, the wider you shoot your shotgun, the more you have to, dance between those lines, And I occasionally envy my favorite comedians that can go just right down to one little niche group and only perform to them. And if I could find it, that'd be great. I don't know what that is though. Like that's not. But and what's even weirder is technology and the culture has changed even the way I can do that. Because to call, some people would like to say that the word observational is meaning, what I think they mean by observational comedy is what is zeitgeist popular, relatable material. And like, can you talk about things that everybody should be able to talk about?
Yeah.
And that even now, because of the way we watch entertainment and how far apart our lives can be with one another, it's very hard to find. Yes, this thing, you eat this food,
yeah.
You listen to this music, you watch this show, Whereas in the beginning of entertainment, there was only a few channels. There was only a few producers of film.
Yeah.
So only a few records a year. So you were like,
everybody knows what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's one of the new part, people who think they got me in a bind are like, hey, you do impressions. I bet that sucks now that AI is around. And I'm like, here's what's so funny to me. There was a time in which people performed comedies, not stand-up, comedies, plays in the park because we didn't have microphones and we had amphitheaters and people didn't cup their hands around their, they just belted it out.
Yeah.
And so you had to project and the essence of comedy had to be screamed. Well, a microphone makes it so 1,000 new opportunities happen and abilities you can use, but it also makes the person who was really good at doing this completely useless. Right?
Yeah.
Or that guy's like, come see me because I'm the only one who can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who cares? There's going to be enough for everybody.
Yeah.
And
not a zero sum.
what not only is it not a zero sum, but when it comes to stuff like AI and when they're talking about like impersonations or art and the AI can do this very quickly. It can be perfect. And I'm like, right. Is that what you want from your art?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because as far as I can go back in time, that's the death of art.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody wants perfect. And so when people are like, well, yes, but now this thing can do perfect. And you're like, okay. And they're like, well, it could do imperfect. And you're like, yes, but here's the problem. You can feed somebody Soylent Green, right? Because it's people and they'll like it until people find out it's Soylent Green.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like when they're like, yeah, well, the AI can do it. Right. Well, I'm not going to like a movie if I found out that AI did it.
Yeah.
And I might like it until I find out that AI did it.
Yeah.
But then I'm not going to like it afterwards. And people be like, well, why not? That's because I and human beings, the reason we like art, and this is a little deep, but because we want you to suffer.
Yeah.
There are other things you could be doing.
Yeah.
Humanity. You could be surviving. You could be breathing. You could be, sleeping, fucking, running in a field. But instead, you're painting away at some piece of thing. And when we look at that thing, or we watch you dance or sing or perform, we know that cost you.
Yeah.
That cost you.
Yeah.
And you're kind of going, now judge me, and we get to sit back and judge you. And AI doesn't die. It can't get embarrassed. It has no feeling. And so we're like, it could get perfect. It could be fooling. Fuck fooling me. I don't care about being fooled.
Yeah.
I want to know that it can die.
Yeah.
That's what makes art beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that the artist can die.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a screwed up thing to say.
Yeah.
But, who cares if it can do it perfect? Who cares if it can impress me? Will it die?
The live thing and the only happening now thing is the thing that'll never go away.
Right.
Who wants to, like, you've been to, I went to a really good concert, but also not great because I was just like, well, there were no musicians really on stage. There was one musician and it sounded like a lot of musicians, but they weren't there. It was all sampled. And I'm just like, but if the electricity went out, nothing happens.
Here's the question.
Like it just didn't,
right.
like I'm not into it.
Here's an interesting concept. I used to think that's a Bupkis concert too. If though they go, hey, we know it's a concert and we know you're here live. we know we're not playing this music live other than going boop, and pressing play, right? Then our job is to put on some sort of physical spectacle to match the music. So where like the EDM concerts and that kind of shit,
light shows and stuff are incredible. Yeah.
That I'm impressed with.
Oh, hell yeah.
That I'm like, you know what? You guys really, you saw where you're lacking, and you went, yeah, you're right. I am just pressing a button.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's give them a laser light show.
Yeah.
That's right. I like that.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah, it's crazy. The live thing, like I was saying earlier, is never going to go away. And in fact, I think become more valuable, an incredible skill, AI be damned. And like AI is always going to be what's it called? Is always going to be stealing material. Like, so
it is.
It's like,
well, that's what's so interesting too. And people were like, it's, when people go, it's sentient. And I'm like, bro, it's never going to be sentient.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a sentient thing that's trained on data models. It'll get so good at reading the models, but it'll be reading models. That's what it is. It's search and deliver. Whereas our brain, scientists now can train and plug an AI to do and then train it to do exactly what it wants. The storage, the electricity, we know where it's coming from. In our brain, we can kind of be like, this is where we think some of this stuff comes from right here in this frontal lobe. You're like, well, where's his 9th grade memory stored?
Yeah.
Touch it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But if I got a motherboard in which the AI lives and I built that, I'm like, well, there is the processor right there. Yeah. If I unplug this, the whole thing, it's gone. If I plug it back in, it works. Well, what if I just touch this part of this brain? Do his 20s disappear? We don't know.
Yeah, it's insane.
We don't know. Yeah, because it's not necessarily, there's another level of that. So that's what sentientness is. It's the shit we can't do. This is only as good as we can do.
Yeah.
And every time someone's like, oh, what is it going to, it's going to do something evil, right? It's going to be so smart. It can do something so evil. I'm like, are you so stupid that you can't understand that if it's smart enough to do something that evil, then there's somebody smart enough to ask it to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's called the God quandary. Can God make a boulder so big he can't move it? Right? If AI is so smart that it can come up with the most incredible scheme to damn us all, then it can also, we could ask it how to stop that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
I think they're worried that it's like, it's not that smart, but it is already capable of fooling a lot of dummies.
Oh, yeah.
Like the deep fake.
Oh, believe me.
Deep fake situation is a problem if, people can be fooled real easy. And I think that is the scary part is like, all right, somehow we got to get people to not be so stupid. And that ain't going to happen quick.
Boy, I think you just hammered so hard down on the nail with one swift stroke on that one. Oh, every once in a while I forget that the bell curve of humanity is like, oh, dumb is so much of us,
So many dumb.
So much. And right. So like if it is a bell curve, right, then over here is intelligence, right? Sloping down this side going up, and down over here is so stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're like, so this is, oh shit.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course, so much of our problems, because this is the vast majority.
And it's rolling down the hill towards the smart people, and they're like, stop it. Jesus Christ. Turn it off.
Dude, every year Idiocracy gets more and more like a documentary. And the voiceover at the beginning of it is just more and more, he's like, and people who go with higher intelligence just decided it wasn't smart to bring people into this world. And you're like,
it is nuts, man. It is nuts. And then like seeing like international shit just makes me crazy. Like seeing the saber rattling bullshit and like the whole it's just like, oh my God. What, like everybody needs to do something. Like everybody needs to go chill the fuck out for a minute.
Oh my God.
Like, what are you guys doing? How would you control everything? Even if you could, why do you want to? I don't give a shit what my neighbor does.
You could not be more. We're really hovering over the whole essence of the problem, which is FOMO. Like that seems to be. I think you have it so much better. My opponent, my enemy, my neighbor has it so much better than me. They must have it so much better than me. And I'm going to make rules or rule over you to make sure that you can't do that shit anymore. You can't make me feel like that.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
I mean, it feels like that's what the essence of it is. Like, you have too much. We want too much. Like, have you ever heard that? I can't remember in which psychological study or wherever this happened, but I remember being told that a group of relatively, average Americans were told, and this is just Americans, this could be anybody, I suppose, because Americans are sampling everybody else, is you could say that they were asked, would you take $500,000 in cash? But the only caveat is that the person in your inner circle of friends who you hate the most is going to get $5 million. The percentage of people who said yes to the 500,000 was so low that it was staggering.
Wow.
That they would like, nope, I'd rather screw myself than see somebody I hate get it.
Wow.
Because they could all be like, well, who are we talking? We're like, the person who disagrees with you politically, who's married to the person you love. And you're like, oh, not them. Yeah. And, like even turn it up worse. They'll feel like they did it because they're good and smart. And you'll only get 500,000 because you're dumb. But it'll be enough to solve all of your problems.
Yeah.
Out of debt, out of, financial trouble, a little nest egg, yada, yada. Still didn't matter. People would rather. And here's another social experiment. This one's lookable. You can search this one. It was called the game of cheats. Everybody in a circle of 10 was given $10. And the scientist was going, all right, here's the deal, everybody. You guys are all put your heads down so you can't see in the center of the table. And then when I say go, you'll have 30 seconds to put as much money of your $10 in ones into the middle of the table. When I say stop, everybody looks up. No one sees who put the money in there. I will double however much money is in there and then deliver it out to everybody. Those rounds will go as long as you want this to go. That is the game. There is no other rules. The game never went more than 3 rounds.
Wow.
Because one person after the first round inevitably would be like, oh, I'll just keep my $10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't put it in there.
Yeah. So
that it doesn't, they'll double it. But if I hold on to it, the money gets doubled anyway. They hand it over to me. Now I've got double. And somebody goes, hey, somebody cheated.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the second somebody says somebody cheated, we go, stop the game. Yeah. It's over. We're not doing this shit. I'm not doing it if they're getting more money.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to ask. Well, I want to know who does it. Well, we don't have to tell you. That's the rules of the game. Well, I'm not playing the game. Game's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
People would rather not have good things if somebody has more of the good thing.
So crazy.
Isn't that weird? Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Fucked up, man. It's fucked up, man. I don't, this aggression will not stand, Walter.
Dude, I love that movie so much. I love that movie
Bro,
so much.
Every time I drive by that Ralph's on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, I always want to go in and write a check for, a little milk that he.
Did you hear the theory that Donnie is a ghost?
Oh no.
That only
No.
Yeah, Donnie is a ghost that only Walter can see.
Sees.
Yeah. And the dude just goes along with it. He's like a nom buddy. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's like, thank you, Donnie.
Yeah.
Oh, so Walter would be like, dude, Walter says your phone's ringing. Thank you, Donnie.
Yeah.
He's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck you, Donnie.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck you, Donnie. Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, okay, great. It's the most priced receptacle. Where's the Ralph's? Yeah. Oh shit! You just blew my mind.
I read that the other day, and I've been wanting to watch it again with that in mind the whole time. And it's just like, oh man, that's such a good.
Oh,
if they actually did that.
His name never says Donnie on his shirt either,
and the dude never talks directly to him. I think there's something like he's never addressed directly.
No, only Walter does.
Only Walter addresses him directly. Yeah,
only Walter does. Oh.
Isn't that good? I don't care if it's true. It makes it really fun. And it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Now, I had a hit on TikTok with a video, which was me just pontificating about Back to the Future in the same way. Like, oh man, I know they're not going to remake it. But if they remade it today, they'd go back 30 years. And I was like, when he first went back, he was walking around like, oh my God, this place is so creepy. 1955, right? And I was like, oh, and he's listening to Mr. Sandman.
Yeah.
Bring me a dream. Well, I'm like, wow, if he went back to 1993, there was also a famous song about Mr. Sandman that was popular. About that time. And I was like, they'd go back and listen to, Enter Sandman instead of Mr. Sandman and Enter Sandman. And people got so pissed.
Really?
They were like, like either they would get like, really, you can't say that, or they'd be like, Enter Sandman came out in 1991. And I'm like, oh my God.
You would have heard it in 93 easily.
That's exactly what I was saying. And then I actually had to go back and be like, you know what? Guess what? Mr. Sandman came by the Contrails or whatever came out in 1953. Yeah, he went back to 1955. How's it still on the radio? Sometimes they play hits, and go with me on this, that are more than 365 days old.
Oh my God.
A lot of time to fill on the radio. Ass face McGee.
So it'd be present day. Marty goes back.
Right.
To 1993.
If he went back. Right. He'd go to 1993. Right. And so what would that be? It would be a PlayStation. Right. That would be the thing he'd play.
Illinois or something? Middle of the country?
Hidden Valley, Hilldale, California.
Oh, so it is a California. Okay.
California. Because I've seen the set out here, and all the stuff looked very Californian. Maybe I'm assuming. God, now I don't know. But and I also made a series of videos, so I was like, well, it'd be a shitty car from just a few years ago that he could get cheap and put a lot of crap on it, and everybody would be like, that's a stupid car if you're going to make a time machine. What would that be? Because it's not a DeLorean. That's 1985. So what's a car from a few years ago or around this time that's really stupid? I can think of only two or three, right? I can think of like that. What was that? Plymouth
PT Cruiser.
The PT Cruiser.
I think it's a PT Cruiser.
Because you can barely get it up to 88 miles an hour, right? And then I was like, or the Pontiac Aztec.
Ooh, too futuristic.
Right? Because if you saw that.
I don't know. That's pretty good though. Astro van.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I like it.
Dude, we got to write this.
I know.
You don't even have to use the old version. You could just literally redo it. But you're going back to 93. Same story, but modernized. Because those movies are impossible to watch. My kids can't watch them. I mean, that's why remakes are happening, but they're not. None of them go hard enough at comedy. Like, there's been a real dearth of that, I think, since like Old School and stuff like that now. I haven't watched them in a while. Maybe they don't hold up anymore. I remember Old School had a lot of like really crazy misogynistic bullshit in it. But everything did.
But
so could you do it again?
Here's what I think people don't. People are so scared of the outcome of boycotting. And what I was just talking about the other day, why some things can be said still on television, why they can't, or why some people get away with some things they can't. And there's just two reasons in my head. One is Seth Rogen said, if we know you really don't mean it, then we let you say it. As in, we know your heart. If you say like, if you built with your bare hands, like Jimmy Carter, right? Houses for the poor. And then they're like, Jimmy, what's the worst part of your day? And he's like, poor people. Am I right? Then we'd be like, Jimmy, right? Because we know you're a goddamn saint, right? Yeah. He could say that. But if you're like, if Donald Trump was asked the same question, poor people, am I right? You'd be like, whoa. Like there's the heart thing, number one. And number two, as long as you don't make the hero the one saying the horrific shit.
Yeah.
If the point of a story is kids are stupid, right? They were stupid, like, and that's what younger generations look back at teenage movies and go, oh my God, these are horrible, like Animal House and American Pie. And they go, how can you justify this? And you go, because we're supposed to be laughing at how unethical and morally bankrupt we were when we were teenagers. And we're supposed to be going, only teenagers would live like that.
But dude, we were watching, this is what always blows my mind, right, with those movies. So the dude, John Hughes, that wrote so many of those teen movies was like 45 or 50 when those movies came out. Right. He was talking about and painting a time of being a teenager onto a time that we were living through. But like the sentiment of it was 20 years earlier, 2 generations earlier. And we grew up like that was the right shit, like that it was okay. Like, wow, we got fucked on that.
You just totally, again, Matt, the clarity in which you're seeing my past is scary. Because that you're right. The essence of the proficiency in which that generation could make film and make it good and make it relatable and not just blah, 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 the old 50s style mass majority stuff. The modern technology that allowed movie making to be, God, that's me,
Yeah.
It stunted us by 20 years.
Easy.
Because the people who were making it were 20 years older than us.
Yep.
And going, this is the way we remember our teenage years. And you're like,
yeah.
Wait a second. You guys talked about race like that, but I thought we got past that race shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like, it was such an interesting point when I was talking to some of my dad's generation, who's in their late 70s, early 80s now.
Yeah.
And they were like, I remember hearing a conversation where they're like, I remember the first time I saw somebody who was black. And first time I was like, you remember the first time you saw somebody? And they're like, both on television and in person. I was 18 when I saw somebody in person, and I was 14 when I saw someone on television. I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's crazy.
My first cognizant thought was black people are my heroes, like on every level. My sitcoms were all black people. My athletes were all black people.
Yeah.
My musicians were. That generation was so far removed from my generation, and yet
yeah,
the culture they were making, talking about my generation, was talking about us as if it was. That's an observation I didn't even notice till you just said.
It's crazy, right? Like,
which is why the disconnect is so bad now.
Yeah.
You know, and then people and like parents like yourself who can see that. I don't know if you're a parent.
Yeah.
Are you a parent?
Yeah.
But the parents who can see it now are so different than the parents of our generation, because they're like, whoa,
Yeah.
this desk, it's really far. This is,
dude,
this gap, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
you're like,
it is so crazy to think about.
I didn't even notice it until you just said it. Well done, sir. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's bananas. I mean, raising kids in this, and like, I want to show them the comedies I loved, but I'm like, You're not going to like this. Like, I tried to watch Superbad with my daughter. I'm like, they're not going to think this is funny. Like, you're not a 12-year-old boy in the 80s that grew up on what I grew up on. Like, it's just not going to translate.
What did your kids watch Star Wars?
No, could give a shit. It's too slow. Like,
I was gonna say you could let them watch Spaceballs, but they don't give a shit.
Yeah, they don't get like.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
It's
that
funny.
Sucks.
It's funny. Like,
it is funny
what they like now.
Well,
you know what I did? I went the other way, Justin. My son and I watch all kinds of animated shit, and I fucking love it. We watch Bob's Burgers. That show is unfucking believable. How good it is.
Yes.
And so, and Gravity Falls was amazing. Like, Teen Titans Go was amazing.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Like, I just jumped into his shit, and it is spectacular.
You know, it's and this is such a interesting. I always forget about it, but someone like you will bring it back into my frame of mind, which is I'm always dumbstruck by culture. You know, like, how is this happening? And then someone says something like that, like, yeah, but animation. I'm like, I forgot. Everything's on a damn wheel. All right. When everything is really absurd and angry in your life, everybody's at their throats, then, you know, funny satire and cartoons and stuff like that. That's really good. That's really hitting on all cylinders. Right.
Oh.
And then when things are really, really good, there's no war. There's not as much social unrest. Everybody's kind of looking around going, we made it. We're okay. We love each other. Then everybody really loves dark, realist, sadistic. You know what I fucking don't like about these pansy ass you know, and that's comedy.
Yeah.
It's Steve Martin in the 70s was good because he was like an arrow through his head in a time when you weren't sure if you're going to get your gasoline to get home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's foo-foo and right. And then look over here. It's not nuclear war, you know?
Yeah.
And now we're back to it.
Yeah.
I think we're back to it. I think where everybody's so damn angry, like they were at that 70s. It's like a 50-year cycle, maybe.
Yeah.
Every 50 years or every 100 years, it's about like boy, this seems familiar, doesn't it?
Dude, and I grew up idolizing Carlin. So I'm just like, we need people to talk. We need people to talk. Like, you watch what Carlin said in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. He was fucking dead on. He was way ahead.
Yep.
But he was right about everything. And you're just like, God damn it. Like, we need these voices so badly.
He's such the reason why he is the unfettered greatest, okay, in my humble opinion, is he was the first one to look at all the branches of comedy and go, I'll borrow a little bit from everywhere and kind of give you a little bit of everything, because I know my audience won't listen to just one thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll want a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So he'd be a little bit of like a little bit of rhyming, a little bit of timing, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of scat, a little bit of that, and so it'd be the people who like the silliness. And then he'd be really angry and cutting and, vindictive. And the people who were like, yeah, they liked that.
Yeah.
And then he'd do characters and impressions. Fucking, so that he'd have another group of people that he was really on point with. And then at the end, he would be extremely kind. He'd be like, but don't worry.
Yeah.
It's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to pull this train into Shining Time Station.
Yep.
Just a big old train conductor. Toot, toot. We're all going to die.
So
and it was just like, yeah, but he was doing all of this. He was like, I'll take from everything. And he had that should be what you're doing. You should be looking at it going, what a spectacle.
Yeah.
And not taking it too seriously.
Yeah.
And the more, just what you just said, the more people we have talking, the more you talk, the more silly anything you're talking about sounds.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what are we doing? Are we still doing this? I once had a fight with a roommate that I loved to fight with because he used to get so mad. And my fiance at the time was watching, and she was like, please stop fighting. And we got down to the fighting that was, I kid you not. He goes, there are just some things that are unarguable. They are called facts. 1 + 1 is 2. And I go, unless there's a negative integer. -1 doesn't actually exist. It's an absence of 1, but we can still add -1 + 2. So -1 + 1 +1 isn't necessarily 2, is it? And he's like, what are you doing? I just told you 1 + 1 = 2 and you're still arguing about it. And I said, right, because my point is we can argue about anything. And your point is we can't. So as long as I continue to have you do this,
you win.
I win. And he went and was so mad that he just threw something against a wall because he knew if he said anything else, he could win by walking away. But it was like, it was so,
that's amazing.
That's it. That's the essence of why we became, comedians, because we're assholes.
Oh my God, dude, this has been so much fun.
It's a real pleasure, man. When is this happening live? Are we doing it live, or is this going out sometime soon?
No, I'll put it up in a couple days. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in Seattle, Bellevue, Washington, August 6th. And if you are anywhere near the Bellevue, Seattle, Tacoma area, please visit me on the social medias at my last name, the Rupple, TheRupple. And tickets are available at my links.
It will be up well before that, so we can maybe drive
yes,
some people. I definitely. It's what's amazing is the podcast, like stats and everything. You can see where people are.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty dope.
Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome. Like, it's like a tour guide. Like, that's the thing is, like, I tell comics all the time, I'm like, if you have a good podcast and you build your following, the towns where people are, go to those towns.
Yep.
Like, you'll crush it. You know what I mean?
I couldn't agree with you more. It just takes discipline. There's some part of it comedians especially have to get past, which is, promotion. Feels like promotion or something like that. No. Think of it as, I just want more people at our party.
Dude,
you're just trying to get people to your party.
I cannot recommend to comics a podcast more. Like, don't give a rat's ass if people download it. It doesn't matter. You are practicing your skill, especially if you're lucky enough to talk to a comic. Like, holy shit, the material that comes out of a podcast, this is your job. This is your art.
Oh, look,
Like-
you have made 5 points in this podcast alone that I'm expecting to see be the framework for material that you have later. Because I'll be damned. There was so many points in this cast that I'm going to go back and be like, no, that's pretty smart, Rupp. I don't know how you came up with that. That was, I turned into Jason Bateman right there. I don't know how you came up with that sport, but I'm really happy. Okay? Why don't you go and practice in the corner? See if you come up with something new. Why don't you knock those 2 brain cells together? Come back, sit down.
Dude, did you watch their podcast show?
All of it. Every minute of it.
Good.
Scintillating.
Oh my God.
Scintillating. Will Arnett, Sean Hayes,
It is so good.
and Jason Bateman together. Will just being the glutton of life. What does it matter if I would have that? I'm going to have it. Shut the fuck up, Jason. I don't give a shit. Oh, Skeletor's got a problem.
That's a good Arnett, dude.
Yeah, Skeletor. How about a guy who's going to live a little bit longer? Okay, I can hear you getting fatter.
That is so
You're
good.
slowing us all down. And Sean's just like, I love both of you boys. I don't,
Dude, that is so good.
I don't even know.
Oh my
It's
God.
every episode.
It was so funny. Them just shitting on each other every chance they could get. It was amazing.
Bro, I just love the sincerity. It's like Will is like watching a 9-year-old boy who has been told like he came back from a coma.
Yeah.
And you're trying to scold that 9-year-old. And he's like, what? It's a cupcake. I didn't think I was going to have cupcakes anymore. I don't care. I'll do extra sit-ups. Who gives a shit? I mean, God.
He's always in a bit. It's so good. It's so good.
And he's so quick to react with the deprecation. And Sean is just one of those immensely talented humans.
Yeah.
Like when he was playing Rhapsody in Blue.
Yeah, on the piano. He's a beast on
You're
the
like,
piano. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's Gershwin.
Yeah, he's
You
unbelievable at the piano.
Incredibly talented, charismatic, enigmatic, like just, hi, I'm just over here in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys, you just have a good time. I'm probably more talented than both of you combined.
Unbelievable. Dude. It's so
So
funny.
good.
Did you get the sweats when Tegmark was on stage and they kept cutting to the audience, hating it and falling to sleep? I was like, oh my God.
Bro.
I was like, they are just bombing. Like, holy shit. And Tegmark's
And the
great,
worst is it.
but not for
Yeah,
that.
it's like you can't force it. You can't force it either.
Oh my God.
And plus they were paying like $100 a ticket because they just, I don't think they understood. The conversation's great. That's not the problem. It's that they want to see stars.
Yeah.
There is something to, I don't like it when people say that celebrityism or stuff like that is useless. What it is a marker that you are connected to a bigger thing than you.
Yeah.
If suddenly you're in an elevator with somebody from an Oscar-winning film, that means that person occupies the same space as you. You exist in their realm. They exist in yours. You're part of their life and they're part of yours. And that is what it means. It's fuck the celebrity gossip, all that shit. What it means is you're both real. You can both have an effect on each other. I can reach out and touch you.
Yeah.
So when they were like, well, it's a good guest. Yes. But you can get celebrities. Let these people have that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to poo-poo that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, and that's why I get a little upset at comics who are like, I won't join into the milieu and become a celeb. You kind of have to. Because if you want to do live stuff, which is that's where this all comes back to.
Yeah.
As I got to land the plane and go, watch the Bachelor. Bachelorette. I get an hour and a half.
I understand, dude. I got to get back to the kids. I could talk to you for hours, dude. This was awesome.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry I put it off for so long. This is one of the reasons why I did. Cause I'm like, dude, if I get on the phone with Matt and have a conversation, the whole battery will drain. It'll be a 5-hour chunk. You're just so good at this. You're such an easy conversationalist, which is lost these
I
days.
appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
Well, it's an art, and it is your kids will be the Highlanders that carry it forward.
Let's hope
You know,
so.
because in the beginning they won't like it. They'll be embarrassed that dad just won't shut up. But you know what I mean? Later on they'll be like, I have his gift.
Dude, I'll leave you with this. I was talking to my buddy about like eventually having conversations, honest conversations with my kids about my stance on drugs and stuff. And you can see this sticker, support psychedelic science. Like if you Google me, I was on the board of MAPS. Like I have studied this shit. Like
yes.
So I'm like talking to my buddy about like, man, I'm worried about having this conversation. He's like, they're going to Google you, dude. Like it's over. I was like, yeah, shit. I'm screwed.
Oh my God, I never even thought about that. Our parents were like, when am I going to tell them?
Yeah.
And your kids are like, I've already looked it up. You told me on your MySpace page.
Yeah, I can't be of any assistance. Like, I am useless. Like,
bro.
Yeah.
But you know what? Just like we were saying about the 20-year difference, they were building a false narrative of what was really happening by telling these stories.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, no.
You can't build that. You are authentically the parent you are.
Yeah.
You're living it in front of them.
Yep.
There's no veil that can be put over it. You know, that's why I'm kind of laughing in the face of so many people who told you there's these two lives you can live, you know, and then I'm like, yeah, well, there are a lot of OnlyFans moms who bought the whole block.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're like, what happens when the kid Googles it? I'll tell you what happens. They're using their MacBook Pro, driving to school in the Ferrari that mama bought.
Yeah.
Do you want to ride in the Ferrari? I don't.
Or you can work in the factory if you'd like, you know, like it's fine.
All right. It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for having me on the cast. I can't wait to be on again.
Anytime.
That you're really a part of me. Yes, I've got you under my skin. I've tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair ain't never gonna go too well. But why should I try to resist when, baby, I know too well that I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything come what might for the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice that rings in the nights, repeats and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you ain't never gonna win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop just before I begin. Yes, I've got you under my skin. Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. Love never made